Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from the Atlantic Wrestling Federation. It is a great day in the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. Neil Lau is here, solo promoter Grant Bachoco. Mark Ferguson is here. All of the cool kids are in the front row here for tonight's action. We've got 4 big matches for you tonight, including a very special main event, a rematch for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship as the new champion, Dusty Rhodes, goes back into the ring against the former champion, Nick Aldis. Should be a great showdown between those two men. Before we went to air, Terry Bam Bam Gordy opened up the show with a big victory over Tony Atlas by way of the powerbomb. AJ Styles was up next, and he took out Pat Patterson with the Styles Clash. And just before we came to air, it was Big John Studd battling it out with Antonio Inoki. And Studd got the backbreaker going, and Inoki resisted and resisted and resisted. And finally, on the 4th try, Big John Studd was able to force Antonio Inoki to submit, much to the delight of Bobby the Brain Heenan. So Big John Studd with the victory. And now we are ready for tonight's action in the live broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this matchup. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by Bobby the Brain Heenan. He stands at 6'3". He weighs in at 256 pounds. Out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota, this is Mr. Perfect, CURT HENNIG. And his opponent comes to you from Tampa, Florida. He stands at 6 foot tall and weighs 258 pounds. This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. So Paul Orndorff and CURT HENNIG to match holds here in tonight's opening contest. We are at the University of Tennessee, Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. In the year 2024, the Atlantic Wrestling Federation decided to do a little something different, and we are going to take a tour of the Southeastern Conference and hit all of the basketball arenas in that fine conference. And we are here tonight at the University of Tennessee with Mr. Wonderful and Mr. Perfect. What a matchup this is going to be. Mr. Wonderful has been wrestling as a babyface, you might say, and of course CURT HENNIG, part of the Heenan family, alongside Big John Studd, who wrestled earlier tonight, and of course the one and only world heavyweight champion, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, part of the Heenan family. So it is Orndorff and HENNIG to start the show, and we are ready for action. The opening initiative role is won by Mr. Wonderful. And Mr. Wonderful comes out with a drop kick. And he didn't get all of that. They come back together in the center of the ring, and now it is CURT HENNIG with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Paul Orndorff, and on a roll of 8, it is a running back elbow delivered by CURT HENNIG that stuns Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And yes, indeed, Orndorff was, in real life, a member of the Heenan family until he unceremoniously fired Bobby Heenan. And now it is HENNIG with a running knee lift, and Orndorff goes down. HENNIG follows that up. He is going up for a death jump. HENNIG is going up for a death jump. Orndorff a choice B on the death jump roll. And on a roll of 5, it is Orndorff who gets there first and grabs HENNIG and throws him down to the canvas hard. Orndorff now in control, and he is going to pitch things out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 10, that is good for Orndorff. That is going to be the foreign object roll, I do believe. Yes, indeed, a foreign object in play already here in tonight's opening contest, and it is a trash can. Paul Orndorff taking out the trash. here on Curt Hennig. Will he be disqualified for using the trash can? Oh, maybe on a roll of 5. And on a roll of 4, we've got a disqualification. How about that? Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, emotions got the best of him early on. And Orndorff, after using the trash can on Curt Hennig, is disqualified. And Curt Hennig is declared the winner of this contest. And Paul Orndorff not at all happy about that decision. So what is going to happen in the aftermath of this disqualification? Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a table for that somewhere. Here it is right here. As the boos rain down from the crowd here in Knoxville, and I can't say as I blame you. So the reason for disqualification was indeed the use of the trash can. And now, as a result of that, Big John Studd is going to come out. And Big John Studd is going to confront Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And we're going to have a potential for a 2-on-1 situation here. As we go to the gang attack table. And on the gang attack table, it is a roll of 7. And on a roll of 7, we go to the gut check rolls. And Paul Orndorff, only a 2, so Paul Orndorff in the negative, Hennig in the positive, and Big John Studd kicking butt and taking names. And Big John Studd has just beaten the snot out of Paul Orndorff here in Knoxville, Tennessee. He took that trash can off of Curt Hennig, and he just battered Paul Orndorff up one side and down the other in a vicious post-match attack by Big John Studd. So Orndorff taking a beating here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And that is not going to end well for Mr. Wonderful. All right, so an unfortunate end for the first match. Not only did we have a disqualification victory there, but we also had a beatdown of Paul Orndorff by Big John Studd and Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig. Interesting implications of that. Studd won his match tonight, and Hennig won his match tonight. And as a result of those victories, both Big John Studd and Curt Hennig are in line for #1 contenders matches. So Studd may have to face Hennig to decide who gets the shot at the winner of tonight's championship match. So that could pose some dissension for the Heenan family. We'll have to see how that situation works itself out. But next up, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to our next contest, which is a #1 contenders match for the Atlantic Tag Team Championship. Those titles currently held by the Midnight Express. The Midnight Express will face the winners of this match for their upcoming title defense here in the Atlantic Wrestling Federation. Introducing first, team number 1. Standing at 5'10", weighing 258 pounds from Osaka, Japan, this is Mr. Fuji. And his tag team partner hails from Tokyo, Japan. He stands at 5'11", weighs 262 pounds. This is Mr. Saito. As we say hello now to Derek Bauman in the chat room. And their opponents coming to you from El Paso, Texas, at a total combined weight of 439 pounds. It is the Guerreros, Chavo Guerrero Jr. and his tag team partner, Eddie Guerrero. So will it be the Guerreros moving up, or will it be Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito? good to see Fuji and Saito as a tag team in the Legends official set. Both these men got their color cards and their tag team card in expansion pack 10. And of course the Guerrero brothers, part of the Carlzilla line of, or no, I believe these were, well, these are UBU bootlegs. So this would have come from Will Harrison and his collection in the winter of 2022. And this should be a really interesting matchup between these two teams. And to start things off, it will be Eddie Guerrero hitting the ring against Mr. Fuji. And it will be Mr. Fuji winning the opening initiative role. And Fuji comes out with a big chop to the chest. And Eddie kind of laughs at him after that chop to the chest. And Fuji greets him with a punch to the nose. And then Fuji bowing insincerely. But oh, Eddie Guerrero not liking that. And Eddie picks up Fuji in the middle of that bow and just dumps him with a back suplex up over his shoulder and down to the canvas. So a little head games being played here by both men in the early goings. And they come back together again. And here is Fuji with another chop to the chest. Eddie still not impressed. And now Eddie is going to try and roll Fuji over into the Gory Special. That, however, is a power move, and Fuji has the power advantage. So it will be Fuji taking control, and Fuji with a big suplex taking Eddie up over and down to the canvas. Fuji now in control, and Fuji coming back with that Fuji nerve grip. That looks like that's got to hurt. Eddie Guerrero makes his way up to one knee as Fuji painfully digs his hands into the trapezius muscles of one Eddie Guerrero, attempting to do damage. And now as Eddie gets up, Fuji knocks him right back down with a clothesline. Here comes Saito into the ring, and we're going to have a double team on Eddie. And on a roll of 5, that is a devastating double team move that Fuji and Saito execute, and that is going to cost Eddie Guerrero a point of fatigue. So Fuji and Saito working effectively here in the early stages of this match. Now Saito in control with a thrust kick to the throat. Saito's going for the cover. The pin roll is 4. And on a roll of 7, Eddie able to kick out. But he is showing some signs of taking a beating here at the hands of Fuji and Saito. And now the Saito suplex. Up, over, and down hard to the canvas. On the back of his neck goes Eddie Guerrero. The pin roll here is 6. And that means here comes Chavo for the pin save. And on a roll of 6, Chavo is able to make the save. Alert thinking by Chavo Guerrero Jr. to make the pin save there. But the match continues with Saito in control. And now Fuji coming in for a double team. And oh, on a roll of 9, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Mr. Fuji. That stuns Eddie Guerrero. Fuji now in the ring and in control. Legal man against Eddie. Chavo still anxiously awaiting his first opportunity to get into the match. Here is a suplex by Mr. Fuji that takes Eddie down. And on a roll of 7, Eddie not able to make the tag. Eddie still trapped in the ring as Fuji continues to do his damage. And here is Fuji with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Eddie. And on a roll of 6, it is a powerful flying shoulder tackle from Eddie. It takes Fuji down to the canvas. Can Eddie capitalize? He goes for the top rope arm drag, taking Fuji over and down to the canvas. And finally, Eddie able to make the tag to Chavo. Here comes Chavo, his nephew, coming into the ring now with a big drop kick. And that stuns Mr. Fuji. Can Fuji get over and make the tag? On a roll of 9, he cannot. And Chavo now in control. And Chavo with the back suplex, taking Fuji down. Chavo now has his moves going. He goes for the brainbuster and dumps Fuji on the top of his head in the center of the ring. Chavo continuing to do damage here. He is going to go for a rolling senton. And oh, Fuji got out of the way of that one. And that's going to be a reversal for Fuji. And Fuji comes back with a big clothesline that takes Chavo down. Fuji making the tag now to Mr. Saito, coming in with a chance to do some damage. And it is Saito who is going to try for a choice H maneuver. Choice H. The move on the card is a second rope knee drop. Choice H can either be a death jump on B or an agility roll on 6 or lower. And Mr. Saito never struck me as being much of a death jump guy, so he's going to go for the agility roll 6 or lower to hit the second rope knee drop. And on a roll of 11, he got nothing. As Chavo rolls out of the way, Saito hit the canvas hard, and now Chavo coming back with a death jump of his own. Chavo going up top. Or excuse me, no, that's that drops us down to level 2. So that's going to be the rolling senton. Chavo hits the rolling senton. Saito unable to make the tag. Chavo now with a chance to hit another rolling senton. Saito is still down, and Chavo comes with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Mr. Saito, and on a roll of 7, it is Chavo with a running back elbow. And now Eddie's coming into the ring, and the Guerreros have a chance at a double team. And on a roll of 4, that is a devastating double team. And that will cost Mr. Saito a point of fatigue. Eddie now the legal man in the ring with Saito down. What is Eddie going to do? He is going to go for the lasso from El Paso. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll is 4. And on a roll of 11, Saito able to kick out. But Eddie still in control here. Will he go up top? No, he is going to pitch Saito. Saito's going to try and get out of the ring. Eddie not going to let that happen. As Saito with the better ring rating, so Eddie will roll up on level 2 and go with a big back suplex that takes Saito back down to the canvas. Tag into Mr. Fuji is unsuccessful, and Eddie instead is going to tag his nephew Chavo back into the match. Chavo the fresher of the 2 wrestlers, and Chavo comes in with another rolling senton. Saito getting to his feet finally, and as they come together, it is Saito grabbing a front face lock. Saito in control. Chavo unable to escape the face lock, and now it is going to be Saito shoving Chavo into the corner for some double team work with partner Mr. Fuji. Tag is made as Fuji and Saito put a beat down on Chavo in the corner. Now Fuji the legal man in the ring with a twisting back headbutt. Fuji going for the cover on a roll of 4 or lower, and on a roll of 4 he may get him. Eddie's coming in for the pin save, and on a roll of 12, it is going to be mayhem. A roll of 12 on the pin save chart. Your tag partner runs in, and so does the opponent's tag partner. While the referee is distracted, your partner drops an elbow on the opponent and reverses the pinning combination to put you on top. So Chavo takes a point of fatigue. But now, and they lose their last pin save attempts, but now it is Fuji having to roll the pin on 3 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Fuji is able to kick out, but that puts Chavo back in control. And what's Chavo going to do here? He is going to go for a tornado DDT. Didn't get all of it, but got enough of it to stun Mr. Fuji. Chavo following that up with a forearm uppercut. Fuji not able to make a tag, as Chavo stays on the offense with another forearm uppercut. Now here's Eddie coming in for another double team. And on a roll of 3, another spectacular double team move, another point of fatigue added to Mr. Fuji. Eddie now the legal man in the ring. And what's Eddie going to do? He is going to go back to that lasso from El Paso. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 5 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he may get him. Here comes Saito for the pin save, and on a roll of 10, he cannot get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. It is Eddie Guerrero with the pinfall off of the lasso from El Paso. So, congratulations to Eddie and Chavo. They have won the #1 contenders match, and they are next in line for a shot at the Midnight Express. So, let's see, that's 3 for Eddie, 1 for Chavo. Saito 2 and Fuji 3. And it is Eddie with the pin over Fuji with the lasso from El Paso. So congratulations to the Guerreros. Eddie and Chavo are headed to a confrontation with the Midnight Express for the Atlantic Tag Team Championship. Michael Brada here in the chat room. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. We've seen some great action so far, and we have 2 more matches yet to come. The next matchup is going to be a grudge match, a no disqualification grudge match like they all are. And this match goes back to a situation that happened last month in Columbia, Missouri. Those of you who were here for card 1269 may recall this situation, as Brian Pillman had his tag team partner Tom Zank injured by that team of Fuji and Saito. So it was Pillman who brought in Jushin Thunder Liger to be his tag team partner. These two did not click whatsoever, and it was Liger taking the pinfall defeat and taking a post-match beatdown from Pillman. And tonight here in Knoxville, Tennessee, these two are going to square off in a grudge match. So, ladies and gentlemen, your following contest is scheduled for no disqualifications, 1 fall to a finish. This is a grudge match, no holds barred. Introducing first, from Hollywood, California, he stands at 6 foot tall and weighs 226 pounds. This is Flying Brian Pillman. And his opponent comes from Hiroshima, Japan. He stands at 5'7". He weighs 209 pounds. This is Jushin Thunder Liger. So Jushin Liger and Brian Pillman set to square off here in tag team competition. Or excuse me, in a grudge match. Former tag team partners now at each other in a grudge match situation. And we use the grudge match dice. And oh, the opening initiative roll is tied. And that means shenanigans will happen. We go to the face to the mat shenanigans book. Shenanigans will happen in this hardcore match, with Jushin Thunder Liger actually getting the roll. And on a roll of 2-3, is the wrestler strong? The strength is equal. What would have happened? Opponent smashes wrestler's body with object, but to no effect. Wrestler responds with knee lift. 1 point. So we've got a foreign object already in play here at the beginning of the match, before the opening match even starts. The first foreign object of the night has been deployed, and it is a title belt. Neither of these guys has a title belt. We'll say that Liger brought one of his title belts from Japan with him, and he just took a whack at flying Brian Pillman with that title belt. And sure enough, it is Jushin Thunder Liger who wins the gut check roll. So it is Liger who will start things off after whacking Pillman with that title belt. And now we're going right out of the ring. Right from the get-go, action on the arena floor. And it is Liger winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming the head of Flying Brian Pillman into the ring post. And Flying Brian Pillman has been busted open. Already, this match ain't even barely started. And Jushin Liger has hit Flying Brian Pillman with his title belt, slammed his head into the ring post, and Pillman is busted open. And now a top rope Hurricane Rana delivered by Jushin Liger onto Pillman, followed by a rolling capo kick. Pillman entirely on the defensive here as Liger continues his attack with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Pillman, and on a roll of 7, it is the drop down and the duck under. Pillman comes off the other way, and on a roll of 9, it is a running back elbow from Jushin Thunder Liger that stuns Brian Pillman. Liger still in control here. Liger going once again with a whip to the ropes. And this time coming off the ropes, it is Pillman with a running shoulder tackle that takes Liger down. And Pillman is going to follow that up with another whip to the ropes. These two speed merchants, and now Liger takes the running shoulder tackle and regains control. These two speed merchants are trying to outdo each other here. And now Liger catches an arm wringer. Liger in control with the arm wringer. What's he going to do next? A swinging head scissors takes Pillman back over and down to the canvas. And Liger follows that up with another rolling capo kick, and Pillman goes down. Pillman is down. Liger now in control, and Liger with another top rope Hurricane Rana. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll is 3, and on a roll of 9, Pillman is able to kick out, and the match will continue. But Liger has been in control from the get-go. As soon as he whacked Brian Pillman with the title belt, it is on, and now Liger is going to his finisher chart. And that is a roll 2 dice chart. And on a roll of 11, we have got the Shooting Star Press. That's a +4. A +4 finisher from Liger. The pin roll is 8 or lower. And on a roll of 11, Pillman able to kick out. I don't believe Pillman was able to kick out. But the match will continue with Liger still in control. And now Liger is going up for a death jump. Liger going up for the death jump, and on a roll of 10. On the death jump chart A, that is the agility struggle. And it is Liger who wins the agility struggle, and Pillman is down once again. And Liger is going for a Liger dive. Liger hits the Liger dive. Pillman in all kinds of trouble here, as Liger goes back to the arm wringer. Pillman still on one knee on the mat as Liger works the shoulder. And Liger now with a running clothesline takes Pillman back down to the canvas. And Liger follows that up with another swinging head scissors, but Pillman is first to his feet, and Pillman with a head slam onto Liger. Pillman coming back now with a knife edge chop, and Liger is leaving the ring. And on a roll of 8, it is Pillman who wins the brawl on the arena floor with a diving clothesline off the ring apron. So Pillman now trying to dig deep and trying to go up for a death jump now as action returns to the ring. And off the top comes Pillman. And on a roll of 11, that is again the agility struggle. The agility belongs to Liger. Liger's got the -4, Pillman at a -3. So Liger is back in control. And it is Liger now with a hanging surfboard, attempting to gain a submission hold. But ladies and gentlemen, we have got a disturbance at ringside, as Pillman is going to be assisted out of this situation by none other than Curt Hennig and Big John Studd. The Heenan family has come to the rescue of Brian Pillman. And they are going to come after Jushin Thunder Liger. And on a roll of 7, it is Liger who is pulled out of the ring by Big John Studd. And on the arena floor, it is Big John Studd who takes a foreign object to Liger. And that is a bottle. Big John Studd has just hit Jushin Liger with a bottle. So Liger takes a point of fatigue. And now out of the dressing room, we have got members of Justice for All. Of course, they're not going to let something like this stand by, or as Bobby Heenan likes to call them, the do-gooders. And here in the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, that is going to be Tony Atlas. And that is also going to be Wahoo McDaniel. So Wahoo McDaniel and Tony Atlas coming to the rescue of Jushin Thunder Liger at ringside here, but it is Studd and Hennig able to beat down members of Justice for All. No help for Liger. Pillman now in control in the ring, and he is again going up for a death jump, and this time he nails the death jump. Liger is down. There's a brawl at ringside. Studd and Hennig, Wahoo McDaniel, and Tony Atlas rolling around the side of the ring, as it is Pillman who is going now for a body slam, a choice F maneuver. He needs a roll of 8 or lower to hit that. He hits it. And Liger is hurt. Pillman follows that up with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Liger, and it is Liger with a running shoulder tackle that takes Pillman down. Liger back in control with an arm wringer. Liger following that up with a Shoda. Not sure what a Shoda is, but it's on his card. And Liger follows that up with the swinging head scissors. Pillman just goes right to the eyes. As he gets up, went right to the eyes of Liger. And Pillman now attempting a flying head scissors. He missed it. As Liger got out of the way of that and hit another Shoda. And Pillman is down. Out of the ring we go. We'll not see any shenanigans. But on a roll of 11, that is Liger hitting a big move on the arena floor, an Irish whip into the barricade. And that is going to cost Brian Pillman another point of fatigue. And on a roll of 5, that's the count-out roll, which means that Brian Pillman is unable to continue. As Jushin Thunder Liger is awarded the decision in this match, and a 6-way brawl has ensued with Liger and members of the Justice for All, Wahoo McDaniel and Tony Atlas battling Flying Brian Pillman, Big John Studd, and CURT HENNIG. So Pillman in the background sold his soul to the devil and has signed on with the Heenan family. And nothing good is going to come out of that, as Big John Studd and CURT HENNIG have a new ally, and a dangerous one indeed, in one Flying Brian Pillman. So Liger gets the win. After a KO on the arena floor. Pillman busted open and damaged, but he's got some new friends here. As the battle wages on, and they're going to battle all the way back up to the locker room. So exciting times here in Knoxville, Tennessee. As Brian Pillman has signed on with the Heenan family. And lucky that Justice for All was here to save the day for Jushin Thunder Liger. Mark Ferguson is here. What have I missed? Boy, you've missed a lot of excitement. We just saw a grudge match between Brian Pillman and Jushin Liger. Liger appeared to have the match won when members of the Heenan family interfered. But the Heenan family was interrupted by members of Justice for All, and it was Wahoo McDaniel and Tony Atlas battling it out with the Heenan family, which allowed Jushin Thunder Liger to finish off Flying Brian Pillman with a knockout. Pillman unable to answer the 10 count. And Liger is your winner. Why, Brian, why, says Mark Ferguson. Yes, indeed. All right, and that brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to our main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. This is for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger from King's Lynn, England. He stands at 6'4". He weighs 242 pounds. He is a former Atlantic Heavyweight Champion. This is the national treasure, Nick Aldis. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, coming to you from Austin, Texas. He stands at 6 foot. He weighs 289 pounds. He is the one and only American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So Dusty Rhodes set for a rematch against Nick Aldis in tonight's main event. Championship dice will be in effect for this one, as Dusty Rhodes defends proudly the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. And the opening initiative roll is won by Dusty. And Dusty is coming out with a headlock and a punch to the side of the head. And he is going to follow that with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Nick Aldis, and on a roll of 8, it is Dusty with a running back elbow that stuns Nick Aldis. Dusty in control. And Dusty going to follow that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Aldis. And on a roll of 7, it is Aldis who grabs Dusty by the arm and whips Dusty into the opposite turnbuckle. And on a roll of 7, it is Aldis with a big kick. It stuns Dusty. Aldis with the reversal taking control here. And Aldis with a knee to the back. As Dusty came off the turnbuckle, Aldis hit him with a big knee. And Aldis is going to follow that up with a whip to the opposite turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Dusty, but on a roll of 5, it is Dusty who lifts the knee to the head of Aldis and stuns Aldis. Dusty now back in control with a flip, flop, and fly. And immediately Aldis goes down and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Out to the arena floor we go. And on a roll of 3, it is Nick Aldis who grabs Dusty Rhodes by the leg, hauls him out of the ring, and hits him with a big suplex onto the arena floor. Aldis winning the first brawl on the arena floor. Both these men A-rated performers on the outside of the ring. And Aldis now in control. Yes! Excuse me. And it is Aldis with a tombstone. Had some trouble getting it up. Didn't get all of him. And Aldis is going to follow that up with a bow and arrow submission hold. Rhodes holding his own. Getting back up to one knee as Aldis tries to maintain that hold. And now Aldis with another big knee to the back. Finally, Dusty gets to his feet. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Aldis with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Dusty Rhodes, and on a roll of 2, that is a good roll for Dusty. That is Aldis trying a sunset flip, but Dusty folds him up and tries for the matchbox pin. The pin roll here would be Snake Eyes, and on a roll of 8, Aldis is able to get his hand under the rope and escape that matchbox pin from Dusty. But Dusty now in control, and Dusty going right to the figure 4. This is a finisher. It is a +1. The submission roll here 4 or lower. And on a roll of 5, he almost got it. But once again, Aldis able to get to that bottom rope and force the hold to be broken. Dusty's got his man in trouble here. And he is going to go up for a death jump. Dusty going up for the death jump. And on a roll of 5, it is Aldis who is the quicker man on the draw. And Aldis gets there and throws Dusty off of the top rope and down to the canvas. Aldis now in control. And once again, Aldis going to take things out of the ring and down to the arena floor. But this time on a roll of 2, it is Dusty who's going to win the brawl on the arena floor and just hurl Nick Aldis over the top rope and out into the crowd. Aldis having to fight his way through the crowd to get back into the ring and ahead of the 10 count. Dusty is ready and waiting, and Dusty is going to go up for another death jump. And on a roll of 12, Dusty got all of that one. The perfect cross body block off the top rope. Dusty going for the cover. The pin roll here is 4. And on a roll of 9, Aldis again able to kick out. But Aldis in some trouble here as Dusty goes back to the figure 4. Dusty going back to the figure 4. The submission roll here is a 6. And on a roll of 8, Aldis is able to just survive the figure 4. Aldis showing great resilience here, even though Dusty has pretty much dominated this match from the get-go. And now Dusty is going to take things out of the ring and down to the arena floor. What's Dusty going to do out here on a roll of 6? That is a clean win for Aldis. Well, not a clean win, but a potential DQ. As on the arena floor, it is a DDT onto the concrete floor. Aldis will not be disqualified for that infraction. Referee given some leeway. And now it is Aldis with a chance to do some damage. And Aldis again going for that tombstone. Again, he didn't get all of it. And this time it is Dusty coming back, but Aldis has got him up to the top for a superplex and down to the canvas hard. Aldis now going for his cover. Foot on the ropes. The pin roll here, Snake Eyes. But on a roll of 8, Dusty is going to kick out as Aldis gets a talking to from the referee after that attempted foot on the ropes. And now it is Aldis going for a choice F maneuver. Choice F. He'll need 6 or lower to hit this for a level 3. And with that deficit, he's got to go for broke and go for the level 3. And on a roll of 8, he is unable to get it done. Missing on the single leg takedown. as Dusty instead takes control with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Nick Aldis, and on a roll of 7, it is Aldis with the reversal. Dusty coming off the turnbuckle on the opposite side, and Aldis hits him with a big kick. Aldis now back in control, and Aldis going back to the bow and arrow submission hold, trying to weaken the big man. Dusty getting back to one knee, and Aldis comes back with another whip to the turnbuckle. Dusty coming off the turnbuckle, and another big kick by Aldis stuns Dusty Rhodes. Aldis follows that up with a diving elbow drop. Still can't get Dusty to stay down, as Aldis now goes with that knee to the back, trying to weaken the core of Dusty Rhodes and perhaps take advantage as he goes with a big German suplex. Now both men getting to their feet. As they come together in the center of the ring, it's Aldis with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Dusty, and on a roll of 2, that is another matchbox pin. Dusty going for the cover. The pin roll is 6, and on a roll of 4, he got him. So Dusty Rhodes with the win, catching Aldis setting his head too soon coming off the ropes. And Dusty with the matchbox is able to hold Nick Aldis down for the cover. And Dusty Rhodes has successfully defended the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done here. That is your main event. Congratulations to Dusty Rhodes for winning tonight's main event and successfully defending the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship over a game contender, the former champion Nick Aldis. So Dusty gets the win and keeps the belt. Congratulations also to JUSHIN Thunder Liger, who managed to knock out Brian Pillman in a wild and chaotic match. Congratulations also to the Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo Guerrero, who advanced to a tag team championship match where they will take on the Midnight Express. And finally, congratulations to Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan's family got 2 victories tonight. Both Curt Hennig and Big John Studd came away victorious. And Heenan adds a new member to his fold in one flying Brian Pillman. So lots of excitement here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Great crowd tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Mark Ferguson, the solo promoter, Grant Bachoco, Michael Brana, made it to the Dave Cave. Neil Lau, Derek Bauman. And I believe that is everybody who spoke up tonight. So thank you all for checking out tonight's action. And for those of you on the replay, thank you for checking that out as well. This is Dave Little from the Dave Cave signing out. That's our stream, and I am out of here.